Good morning, fellow dirty, filthy creatures, you dirty gardeners. I'm Iron, Dirty Dragon. I'm going to focus today on my sowing process. So it's not going to be quite as long as the seed starting video that I did a few days ago, but it's going to show you a few details that may help with newbies who are just learning how to sow seeds. I'm going to show you how to cold stratify and how to label them, how I label them. You can always do things differently. This is what I have found works for me. So you can, you know, if it doesn't work for you, that's totally cool too. So the first thing I'm going to start with is showing you how to stratify. It's not going to be a big video and it's not going to be very complicated. But anyway, here we go. Okay. So what cold stratification is basically duplicating the effects of sitting in cold winter soil. And since we're sort of cheating, what we're doing is we're putting them into a cold, well, in this case, it's going to be a damp paper towel. That's probably the most common method of doing it. Some people use vermiculite and make that damp and then just put that in the fridge. The key thing is that they don't dry out, because in the fridge, of course, it's very dry and you don't want your seeds drying out. You want them to stay moist. So yeah, basically, like, you know, if it's in the ground in the PNW in the winter, it's going to be wet, it's going to be cold. So you don't want it to be super soaking wet. There's paint on me there. So what I do is I just give a quick squirt with my spray bottle, you know. I've got some seeds here that are Milica ciliata. It's a grass, and I don't believe that the grass seed will need this, but when I went online, it said it benefited them, so I'm going to do it anyway. At this stage, they have no need whatsoever for light. Like, literally, you're just making them so that they will feel like they're in a winter cold snap. Okay, and then put those into a Ziploc so that they don't dry out. If you dry out the seeds without the Ziploc, what happens is they just become desiccated, and that can obviously kill the seed. It can actually sap whatever moisture is in the seed and kill it before you even get a chance to try it. So don't forget, because I just about did, don't forget to mark on here what the seed is. Milica ciliata. And it drives me nuts that I made that a capital, because it's supposed to be the second name of the Latin name. But anyway, okay. Once that's done, you've got all your seeds that need stratifying in your packages. Put them in the fridge and, like, forget about them. Yeah, that's better. So I don't have to bend over to talk to you guys so much. So, okay. So once you've got them in the packages, you've marked the names on the packages of what they are. Put them in the fridge. Set a timer for, you know, like, probably 2 weeks minimum. 4 to 6 weeks is probably ideal. They just go into a nice state of dormancy. It prepares them for waking up in the springtime, and since we're planting like sort of pre-springtime, that's when you want them to wake up. I'm going to set them in for 2 weeks. I feel like that'll be sufficient. But yeah, look it up online. What I did to find out if they needed stratification is to say cold strat and then the name of the seed, because otherwise you will end up with seed sowing, but you won't know whether there's stratification needed for each seed. If you're buying seeds from I have to show you this here. This is our kitten. She wants to get involved. Name is Shaya. There she is. If you buy seeds from like a company, they will have already done that for you. So don't worry about it if you're buying like prepackaged seeds from, you know, Swallowtail or Chiltern or wherever you get your seeds from. They will already have taken care of that. They'll have sent them out with instructions based on what they need, like when you receive them, okay? So this is only for the ones that you will have collected from your own garden or maybe bought from a friend or something. All right, moving on. Here's a prepared tray of my favorite size of the seed containers, seed starting containers. I go through all that in my other video about seed starting, so I'm not going to go into it now. I use your random run-of-the-mill seed starting mix. The best one I've ever found is from Cinnabar Valley. I think I got it at, what's it called, Garden Works in Blenkinsop. But it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. They will all do the job just fine for random seeds. Doesn't the seeds that I'm going to be sowing today, they are not particularly special. I've got some fun ones here. There's a Polemonium Pockiflorum, yes. So it's Jacob's Ladder, but it's got yellow flowers and very easy to grow. The instructions are on here, but I'm going to start off with filling this up. My kitten is going to love this. I'm sure she's going to have her hands all in here, her paws. She's a polydactyl kitten, so she's got like six toes on every paw, so they look like paddles. And I have no doubt that she'll be digging in here in a second. If your seed mix is dried out from previous years, don't put it into your tray. Put it into a nice big bowl and pour a bunch of water in there and just let it soak up for a while, like an hour, or mix it with your hands. The reason I'm wearing gloves is because I have sensory issues, not because you need to. I just don't like the way it feels. So yeah, rehydrate the soil before you sow instead of after you sow, because it can become quite hydrophobic, meaning that it will repel water after it's been sitting for a while. And you don't want to be sowing seeds in that, because no matter how much you water it, it will not absorb the way that it would if you did it before properly. Okay. This is, there's no magic in this. This is really, really, really basic. I don't have any like amazing tips for magically getting your seeds to take. I have grown some more fancy seeds. The longest one that took to germinate was 8 months, and then it died. It died in the winter because I guess whatever. It was just being a bitch. But I don't like to futz around with shit like that. Like, I'm just not into futzing around. I'm happy to grow things that are happy to grow. So this one I have grown before, and so I know it's really, really good, really easy to grow. When the instructions say plant to the depth of the seed, and they're like a freaking, like, I don't know, atom-sized big. Literally, you just top sow them. There is no way to figure out what the depth of the seed is. Sow them on the top, and then they'll often say covered with grit, and that basically just means some fine quality sand. You can also use vermiculite, and pretty much the only thing that does is helps to anchor the seeds a little bit. If they're in the elements at all, then it'll also help them from blowing away, or even getting splashed off by a drop of water because they're so tiny. So yeah, it's not any real benefit to sow them. Like, they don't need anything special. They just need a little bit of sand. So let's see here. Let's see where. Yeah, you can see this one. Okay, I'm just gonna top sow these ones. They don't need anything fancy. I'm just waiting for Shia to come and help herself to this. Her head is tilting watching me here. It's so cute. These packages are annoying because they have this sticky glue in the bottom, and it keeps the seeds from pouring out. Okay, so now I don't want to forget which ones I've actually just sown because I can't see the seeds. I use dollar store plastic spoons to mark all of my seeds and all of my plants, and a brace pencil. These guys here. The reason I use these is because they do not wear off in the elements. And the reason I use the plastic spoons is because I found that things like popsicle sticks and such were, they obviously are biodegradable, and as soon as they get wet, then you lose track of what the heck you've just sown, and that has been really annoying to me. So I'm just going to write on here, Polemonium Pockiflorum. And since the tops of the trays go like to about there, you know, the greenhouse tops, I just break this, I break them and I just do that. Yeah, and that's literally all I do when I'm sowing my seeds. Just mark the other one before I forget. Polemonium Pockiflorum. Okay, that one goes there. Okay, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else with the seeds that are like peas or beans or whatever. They'll need to go deeper into the soil, and they also grow a lot faster. So it won't be quite like what I've just done. You'll poke a little hole into it. You'll put a pea in there, cover it up. It'll grow really fast, so you'll pop that cell out and put something else in there, and put your other your peas on the bottom rack, or the rack that has the higher lights. Again, these are references to my other video about seed starting, so you can go to that one to get a little bit more detail about the whole process from start to finish. This is just how I sow seeds. And I'm going to pause it right now and just have a think if there's anything else that I need to tell you before I end the video. I just wanted to show you guys that, so these cute little seeds here, these little star-shaped seeds, I just want to show you that I do not put any care into how I sow them. And the reason for that is that I will easily, you know, pull this whole tray out later and separate out the seedlings, and it is such a pain in the ass to try and like put the seeds when they're this tiny into like one little spot, and it's also, in my opinion, just a waste of soil and a waste of time. The ones that germinate will germinate, the ones that don't, they won't, and it's easy enough to separate them out after they've put off some leaves. So yeah, maybe I'm really just fucking lazy, but that's how. Yay, tray is done. Lots of lovely little annuals and some perennials, some new stuff to me. I am not one of those kinds of people that really gets too fussed about these seeds if they don't take. So if you're like into hardcore seed starting, don't frickin' watch my videos. I do that occasionally, but for the most part, I really cannot be arsed to grow stuff that needs special requirements. That said, I have one here that needs to sit in frickin' 12 hours in hot water and blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna try it, but anyway, most of the time I can't be bothered. This is an old cleaning bottle, and I like it because it's got this fancy little, I mean, you could use an actual watering can, but oh my god, you know, like, I prefer to do it the ghetto way, you know. Save a bit of money, right? Or whatever, just use what you've got. I like it because it just makes the stream really gentle, and so yeah, I'm just top watering the plants. I know I said not to top water the plants in the other video, but this is just to get them started. This is not like what you want to do all the time. I will actually show you one other quick thing that can be done as soon as I finish watering, so you're just going to have to hold your horses for a second. Be patient. Slow down, calm down, just hold your horses. I know this is boring as fuck. Watering, 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 watering. Want to make sure all the babies have got some water. Probably tomorrow I will start watering from the bottom because the seed starting mix is quite dry. It's got moisture in it, so it will absorb, but it's not gonna like do great for when they start putting off their leaves and roots and all that crap. Anyway, okay, so I was gonna show you something and now I've forgotten. Frickin' ADHD. Hang on a sec. Right, I was gonna show you how to put vermiculite. Lord, I swear to God, I have no freaking brain. Okay, so I'm looking for the vermiculite. Oh, that's that massive bag right back in there. Okay, oh, there it is. Okay. So vermiculite can do a couple different things, but what it's good for is basically absorbing excess moisture. And it also can be used sort of as a top, I wouldn't call it a top dressing, but like a coating that you can put on to anchor the seeds, like you would if you were putting on sand or something like that. If they say to put a little bit of grit, you can sometimes pour a little bit of vermiculite on. I'm just doing it because I wanted to show you. These seeds don't particularly need it, but it won't harm them either. The only thing, don't cover a lot because most seeds require the light to germinate. So, vermiculite, that's that. Now we put the top on it, like this. Nice little greenhouse box. And we put it over here under the lights. These are fluorescent lights. But again, I went over all the details of lighting and such in my other videos, so you can check that out. I also went into damping off and potting on in another video, so you can look at those. But this is just basically how to sow seeds. Now, 12 hours a day is ideal for most seeds. So keep your lights on a timer, or make sure you have, like, put them on when you get up and first thing in the morning and turn them off before you go to sleep. That's pretty much it. It doesn't matter if they get too much more. It does matter if they get less. They will not be able to rest if you leave them on overnight, but it's not going to kill them. Just don't do it every night. They do actually need to sleep, just like we do. Righty. That is my very basic seed starting process. I am not going to go into the fancier shit because that is fancy. And it takes time and preparation and willpower. I actually have to have willpower to set all that shit up. And I don't have a lot of patience for that kind of thing. So all these things are just super easy to grow, probably germinate pretty high rate with my technique. If you're a more advanced grower, you don't want to look at this video. But it's too late for you now. Okay, well, good luck to you. I hope you find that you are able to grow some seeds and have some babies and play and learn, and peace out, bitches.